Hi all, in this video we will be looking at the questions and the right answers of NTA UGC Net Economics December 2022 first shift. So we will be looking at the question from each module and the right answers given in the final answer key. So we will be starting with the microeconomics module. So the first question, which of the following is not true in case of indifference curve? Options: indifference curve are usually convex or bowed inward. Indifference curve for two goods that are perfect complement is shaped as right angles. Indifference curve for two goods that are perfect substitutes is a downward sloping straight line. Indifference curve for two normal good is a downward sloping straight line. So the right answer for this question is option D. Indifference curve for two normal good is a downward sloping straight line. So the second question, which one of the following is not true in case of producer's equilibrium? Options: MPL divided by MPK equal to W by R. MRTS LK equal to MPL divided by MPK equal to W by R. MPL divided by W equal to MPK divided by R. MRTS LK equal to R by W. So the right answer is option D. MRTS LK equal to R by W. So next question. A game in which the gains or losses of one player or firm do not come at the expense of or provide equal benefit to the other player or firm is known as zero-sum game, non-zero-sum game, mixed game, balanced game. So the right answer for this question is option B, non-zero-sum game. So the next question, the condition of preferring a risky income to a certain income with the same expected value is referred as risk averse, risk loving, risk neutral, risk premium. So the right answer for this question is option B, risk loving. So the next question, dash arises when the firm can produce any combination of the two inputs more cheaply than could two independent firms that each produces a single output. So the options: learner's curve, economies of scale, diseconomies of scale, economies of scope. So the right answer for this question is option D, economies of scope. So next question, in which oligopoly model firms produces homogeneous good and each firm treats the price of its competitor as fixed and all firms decide simultaneously what price to change? So options: Bertrand model, option B Cournot model, option C Stackelberg model, option D Squeezy model. So the right answer for this question is option A, Bertrand model. So the next question, which of the following are correct about loanable fund theory? Dishoarding is a major source of supply of loanable fund. Demand for hoarding is inversely related to the interest rate. Equality between demand and supply of loanable fund is the only condition required for stable equilibrium. Wixell was one of the proponents of the theory. It introduced monetary factors into the theory of interest. So we need to choose the right statement regarding the loanable fund theory. So different options are given: A, B and D only, C, D and E only, D, B and E only, A, D and E only. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is B, D and E only right. So the next question, which of the following are correct assumption of Arrow's condition of social welfare? So different conditions are given: responsiveness to individual preferences, impositions, dictatorship, transitivity or consistency, independent or irrelevant alternatives. So we need to choose the right one regarding the Arrow's conditions. See, different options are here: A, B and D only, B, D and E only, B, C and D only, A, D and E only. So the right answer for this question is option D, which is A, D and E only. So the next question, which of the following are true for an oligopolistic market? So different statements are given here. The demand curve for oligopolistic market is indeterminate. There is a possibility of only two sellers. The product may be homogeneous or differentiated. There is free entry into and free exit out of the market. There is an importance of advertisement cost. So we need to choose the correct statement regarding the oligopolistic market. So different options are given here. Options A, B, C and D only, B, C and D only, A, B, C and E only, B, C, D and E only. So right answer for this question is option C, which is A, B, C and E only. So the next question, given below are two statements. Statement 1, every point on the contract curve is a Pareto efficient because one person could not be made better off without making someone else worse off. Statement 2, every point on the contract curve necessarily indicate equal level of economic welfare for the society. In the light of the above statement, choose the most appropriate answer from the options given below. Options, both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Option 2, both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Option 3, statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. Option D, statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. So the next question, again statement wise question. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, supply side policies are long term measure to increase the productive capacity of the economy, leading to an outward shift in the production possibility curve. The privatization is the act of selling the state-owned asset in order to increase competition, productivity and efficiency. In the light of the above statements, choose the correct answer from the option given below. So the options, both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are false. Statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false. Statement 1 is false but statement 2 is true. So the right answer for this question is option A, which is both statement 1 and 2 are true. So the next question, match the following. List 1, extra risk that an investor must incur to enjoy a higher expected return. Second one, tendency of individual to value an item more when they want it than when they do not. Next one, provide an uncertain flow of money or service to its owners. Option D, when a party whose actions are unobserved can affect the probability of payment associated with an event. In list 2, we have risky asset, moral hazard, price of risk, endowment effect. So we need to correct the, match the list 1 and list 2. So different options are given here. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is A3, B4, C1 and D2. So next we will be looking at the question from macroeconomics. So the first question from macroeconomics, the sticky price model is options, the upward sloping short-run aggregate supply curve. Option B, the upward sloping long-run aggregate supply curve. Option C, the downward sloping short-run aggregate demand curve. Option D, the downward sloping long-run aggregate demand curve. So the right answer for this question is option A, which is the upward sloping short-run aggregate supply curve. So the next question, if the demand for labor increases, then options, real wage rises, the amount of labor employed increases, both 1 and 2 happen, none of the above. So the right answer for this question is option C, both 1 and 2 happen. The next question, the macroeconomics distinguishes between real economy and dash. Options, virtual economy, monetary economy, C, normative economy, D, underground economy. So the right answer for this question is Option B, monetary economy. So the next question, in accelerator theory, capital output ratio is assumed to be options increasing, option B, independent from level of national income, option C, decreasing, option D, constant. So the right answer for this question is option D, constant. So the next question, the government spending is a second element of autonomous expenditure to be controlled by policy makers, do not depend directly on the level of income, all of the above. So the right answer for this question is option D, which is all of the above. So the next question, money supply in ISLM model is assumed to be real narrow money, nominal money supply, nominal broad money, real money supply. So the right answer for this question is option D, which is real money supply. So the next question, for the computation of national income by the product method, which of the following sectors are considered? Different sectors are given: registered manufacturing, agriculture and allied activities, mining and quarrying, unregistered manufacturing, non-monetized activities. So we need to choose the correct sectors which are considered in the product method. So the options are A, B and C only, D and C only, A, B, C and D only, B, C and D only. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is A, B, C and D only. So the next question from macroeconomics, which of the following statement are correct? According to the accelerator model, investment demand is proportional to the changes in the GDP. The real rate of interest is the nominal rate of interest plus inflation rate. The higher the real interest rate, the higher is the rental cost of capital. Investment is a stock concept. Residential investment is low when mortgage interest rate are high. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. Options B, C and D only, A, C and E only, A, B, E and E only, C, D and E only. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is A, C and E only. So the next question, match list 1 with list 2. List 1 we have A.W. Phillips, Finlay Shiraz, Modigliani, Pigou. In list 2 we have trade-off between wage and unemployment, money illusion, life cycle hypothesis, taxable capacity. So we have different combinations here. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is A1, B4, C3 and D2. Option B is the right answer. So the next question, arrange the following in chronological order starting from the oldest relating to the theory of money. Different names of the economists are given. We have Patinkin, Fisher, Friedman, Marshall and Keynes. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. We have E, B, C, A, D, B, D, E, A and C, A, B, C, D and E, D, B, A, C and E. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is B, D, E, A and C is the right answers. So the next question, given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other is labeled as reason. So the assertion, partisan theory views macroeconomic policy outcome as the result of ideologically motivated decision by leaders of different political parties. Reason, the parties represent constituencies with the different preferences concerning macroeconomic variable. In the light of the above statement, choose the correct answer from the options given below. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation. Both A and R are true, but R is not correct explanation of A. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. The right answer for this question is option A, which is both A and R are true and R is correct explanation of A. So next we will be looking at the question from mathematical economics. First question, if the demand and supply functions are given, PD equal to 20 minus 5x and PS equal to 4x plus 8, obtain producer surplus. Options 31 divided by 9, 32 divided by 9, 129 divided by 9, 29 divided by 9. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is 32 divided by 9. Next question, demand function for good A is given by QA equal to 100 minus 2PA plus 0.2Y plus 0.3 PB. Find the cross price elasticity of demand at PA equal to 6, Y equal to 500, PB is equal to 10. So the options 0.06, option B 0.016, option C 0.52, option D minus 0.06. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is 0.016. Next question, find the elasticity of substitution sigma of the constant elasticity substitution production function when the substitution parameter rho lies between 0 less than rho less than infinity. So the options sigma is greater than 1, sigma is less than 1, sigma equal to infinity and sigma equal to 1. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is sigma is less than 1. So the next question, if the nominal tariff rate T on consumers of the final commodity is 10%, the ratio of the cost of imported input to the price of the final commodity in the absence of tariff AJ equal to 0.8 and the nominal tariff rate on imported input TJ equal to 20%, then find the rate of effective protection. Options 10%, option B 8%, option C 3%, option D minus 30%. So the right answer for this question is option D, which is minus 30%. So the next question, Nash equilibrium represent the outcome each time the game is played, long-term equilibrium, a situation in which one player will not deviate given the strategy of the other player, best response to the first mover, the pair of the dominant strategies. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. We have options A, B, C only, B and D only, B and C only, A, C and D only. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is B and C only. So the next question, the properties of mathematical expectations are. So we have different mathematical expectation properties. You can just go through the statements given here. So we need to pick the right properties of the mathematical expectations. So we have options A, B and D only, B, D and E only, B, C and D only, B, C and E only. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is B and C and D only. So the next questions from statistics and econometrics. First question, find the variance of random variable which constitutes the number of heads in a toss of the two coins simultaneously. Options 1 by 2, option B 1, option C 2, option D 4. So the right answer for this question is option A 1 by 2. So the next question, test statistics used to test stationarity of a time series in the presence of correlated error term is. Options Dickey-Fuller test, Engel-Granger test and error correlation mechanism, augmented Dickey-Fuller test. So the right answer for this question is option D, augmented Dickey-Fuller test. So the next one, a logit model as Pi goes from 0 to 1 and logit L varies from options 0 to plus infinity, option B minus infinity to plus infinity, option C 0 to 1, option D minus infinity to 0. So the right answer for this question is option B, minus infinity to plus infinity. The next question, the regression model yt equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 dt plus beta 1 xt plus beta 2 yt dt plus ut is used. Deseasonalized time series data, analyze seasonal trend in a data, analyze structural break in data, analyze piecewise linear relationship in a data. So the right answer for this question is option C, analyze structural break in a data. So the next question, a box of 9 golf gloves contain 2 left-handed and 7 right-handed gloves. If 2 gloves are randomly selected from the box without a replacement, what is the probability that one is left-handed and the other is right-handed glove? So this is a question from the probability. So the options 7 by 12, option B 2 by 9, option C 7 by 18, option D 1 by 9. So the right answer for this question is option C 7 by 18. So the next question, which of the following are correct are OLS estimation in the presence of autocorrelation? So we have to pick the right statement in for the OLS estimation during the situation of autocorrelation. Statement, the estimated coefficient is linear, the estimated coefficient are unbiased, the estimated coefficient are biased, the estimated coefficient are consistent, the estimated coefficient are efficient. So we have different options. Option A, C and D only. Option B, A, B and D only. Option C, A, C and E only. Option D, C, D and E only. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is A, B and D only. So the next question, which of the following are correct in case of areas under standard normal probability curve? Statements, the distance from mean ordinates in the term of plus or minus sigma at z equal to plus or minus 0.6745 is 0.55, and distance from the mean ordinate in the term of plus or minus sigma at z equal to plus or minus 1.96 is 0.95. The distance from the mean ordinate in the term of plus or minus sigma at z equal to plus or minus 2.0 is 0.9544, and the distance from mean ordinate in the term of plus or minus sigma at z equal to plus or minus 2.58 is 0.98, and the distance from mean ordinate in the term of sigma plus or minus sigma at z equal to plus 3.0 is 0.9973. So we have different options here. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is B, C and E only. So the next question, which of the following satisfy the assumptions of classical linear regressions? Statements, the regression model is linear in parameter, zero mean value of disturbance U, the variance of U is not constant, there is a serial autocorrelation between disturbance time, the number of observation must be greater than the number of parameter to be estimated. So we have different combinations given here. For the right combination is B, which is A, B, E only. So the next question, if A, B and C are 3 different non-empty cells, then find which of the following are correct in the law of the set operation. So we have different laws given here. So you can just go through the different statements or different laws given here. So the right statement, combination of different laws is option D, which is A, B and C only. So the next question, which of the following are correct in case of probability of 2 independent event A and B? So the different combinations given here. So you can just go through the different combination. So the right combination is option B, which is A, C and D only. So next question, a match list 1 with list 2. For in list 1 we have a censored regression model, normit model, distributed lag model, partial adjustment model. In list 2, Probit model, Mark-Nerlo-Tobit model, LM Coyer. So we have the right combination, which is option B, A3, B1, C4 and D2. So next question, match list 1 with list 2. In list 1 we have two variable linear regression model, and list 2 we have elasticities. You can go through the different statements or different options given here. So the right option for this question is option B, which is A3, B1, C4 and D2. Okay, then we will be coming to the growth and development economics questions. So the first question, which institution has published the Human Development Report annually since 1990? So the options, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, Asian Development Bank, United Nations Development Program. So the right answer for this question is option D, which is United Nations Development Program. So the next question, which of the following are the alternative estimate of poverty in India? Option, Duntaker and Rath estimate, OP Chopra estimate, PD Oja estimate, BS Minhas estimate and K Ragnekar estimate. So we have different options. Option A, B, C only, B, C and E only, A, C, D only, C, D and E only. The right option for this question is option C, which is A, C and D only. Harrod-Domer classification of growth includes which of the following? Options, natural growth rate, option B, desired growth rate, then C, warranted growth rate, possible growth rate and population growth. So we have different options, different combinations given here. So the right option for this question is option B, which is A, C only, which is A is natural growth rate and C is warranted growth rate. So next we will be looking at the question from Indian economy. First question, which 5-year plan proposed to make India self-reliant and self-generating economy? Options, second 5-year plan, option B, third 5-year plan, option C, fourth 5-year plan, option D, fifth 5-year plan. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is third 5-year plan. So the next question, total budget allocation in the year 2022 and 23 for Har Ghar Nal Si Jal in rupees is 50,000 crores, 80,000 crores, 60,000 crores, 70,000 crores. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is 60,000 crores. So the next question, which among the following are main component of PM E-Vidya? Statements, one nation, one digital education, infrastructure and electronic governance, one class, one TV channel, extensive use of radio, community radio and podcasts, information and communication technology. So we have different combinations here. So the right combination is option A, which is A, C, D and E only. So the next question, we have match the following. In list 1 we have Santa Cruz, Kandla, Falta and Visakhapatnam. In list 2 we have West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. So the right combination is option B, which is A4, B3, C1 and D2. So the next question, arrange the percentage share of nominal GVA 2019 to 20 for the following sectors in a descending order: agriculture and allied, manufacturing, construction, finance, real estate and professional services, mining and quarrying. So we have different combinations here. So the right combination is option A, which is D, A, B, C and E. So we have arranged in the descending order of the different sectors GVA. So the next question, according to the CMIE data September 2022, arrange the state in the ascending order based on their unemployment rate. We have Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Assam and Uttarakhand. So the different options are here. So we have to arrange in a ascending order. So the right order of the states is option B, which is C, D, E, A and B. So next we will be looking at the question from International Economics. First question, the birth of World Trade Organization emerged from which round? Geneva, Hong Kong, Urego and Tokyo. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is Urego. So the next one, the value trade ratio capture trading relative to the size of the economy, market and economy, none of these. Right option for this question is option A, which is economy. So the next one, what is the case of memorizing growth state? Options, growth in a richer nation would actually be self-defeating. Option B, growth in poor nations would be actually be self-defeating. And option C, growth in poor nation would be actually be self-promoting. Option D, growth in richer nation would be actually be self-promoting. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is growth in poor nation would actually be self-defeating. So the next one, in which stage of product cycle model the imitating country start underselling the innovating country in the third market? Stage 5, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4. So the right answer for this question is option D, which is stage 4. So the next question, the level of intra-industrial index can be measured as T equal to 1 minus x minus m divided by x plus m, T equal to 1 plus x minus m divided by x plus m, T equal to 1 minus x minus m divided by x plus m, T equal to 1 minus x minus m divided by x plus m. So the right answer for this question is option A, which is T equal to 1 minus x minus m divided by x plus m. So the next question, the consequence of a country having a persistent current account surplus includes employment generation, higher standard of living, low inflation pressure, currency appreciate in value, more pressure on public debt. So the right answer for this question, option B, which is the combination of option A, statement A, B, D only. A, B, D only. A, B, D only the right answer. So the next one, which of the following are the members of SAARC countries? India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Afghan and China. So we need to choose the correct combinations. So we have different combinations here. So the right answer for this question is option D, which is the combination of A, B, C and D only. So the next question, which of the following forms of credit side of the balance of payment? Unilateral transfer received, capital transfer received, income payment, export of factor services, merchandise import. So we have different combinations. So the right combination is option D, which is A, B and D only. So next we have a match the following. List 1 we have GAD mode 1, GAD mode 2, GAD mode 3 and GAD mode 4. So this list 2, cross-border trade, commercial presence, temporary movement of natural persons, consumption abroad. So we have different combinations here. So the right combination is option B, which is A1, B4, C2 and D3. So the next question, arrange the following in descending order of the basis of the year of WTO Ministerial Conference held. So we have to arrange in a descending order. So we have Cancun, Mexico Conference, Nairobi, Kenya Conference, Bali, Indonesia Conference, Buenos Aires, Argentina Conference and Seattle, United States Conference. So we have different combinations here. So the right combination is option B, which is D, B, C, A and E. So the next question, arrange the trading group as per their year of establishment starting from the oldest. So European Free Trade Association, North American Free Trade Agreement, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation and Andean Community and Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So we have different combinations given here. So the right combination is option C, which is A, E, D, C and B. So next we will be looking at the question from Public Economics. First question, a toll is a tax on those citizens who use toll roads. This policy can be viewed as an application of the benefit principle, horizontal equity, vertical equity, tax progressivity. So the right answer for this question is option A. So the next question, which of the following formula is used to measure the tax multiplier? So we have different options. So minus MPC divided by 1 minus MPC, 1 by 1 minus MPC, 1 minus MPC divided by MPC, 2 minus MPC divided by MPC. So the right answer for this question is option A, which is minus MPC divided by 1 minus MPC. So the next question, a free rider problem arises when goods are congestible, when goods are of a rival nature, when number of beneficiaries is large and exclusion of any one of them is impossible, when goods are available freely but on a first come first served basis till stock lasts. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is when number of beneficiaries is large and the exclusion of any one of them is impossible. So the next question, which of the following objectives are correct for the public sector? To create employment opportunities, to promote balanced regional growth, to promote agriculture growth, to promote rapid economic development, to promote banking sector of the economy. So we have different combinations. So the right combination for this question is option D, which is A, B, C, D and E only. So the next one, which of the following are required for good tax system? We have different statement. Revenue yield should be adequate. Tax system should be so that different income group of the people pay tax equally. Administrative and compliance cost of tax should be as minimum as possible. Tax system should not permit scope for the tax leakage and tax evasion. The tax should be chosen to maximize interference with market efficiency. So the different combinations are here. So the right combination for this question is option C, which is C, D and D only. C, D and D only. So the next question, federal transfers to state are required mainly, we have different statement, to offset unequal assessment of the resources and responsibilities between federal government and state government, to correct spillovers of benefit of the public goods between jurisdictions, to address the horizontal physical imbalances, to augment resources of local bodies for overall efficiency of a tax system. We have different combinations here. So the right combination is option D, which is A, B, C, D and E. So next we have a match the following. List 1 we have functional finance, displacement effect, law of increasing state activity, allocative stabilization and distributive function of state. In list 2 we have Peacock and Weizmann, Keynes and Lerner, Wagner, Muschke. Okay, so we have different combinations here. So right combination is option A, which is A2, B1, C3 and D4. So the next question, arrange the following stages of budget in the correct sequence. Appropriation bill, general discussion, finance bill, presentation to the legislative assembly, voting on the demand for grants. For we have different orders given here. So the right order is not there. So the particular question was dropped from the exam. So each candidate will get 2 marks for this particular question. So the next one, indicate the chronological sequence of the following in the items of their implementation in India. So we have service tax, expenditure tax, state VAT, income tax, goods and service tax. So we have different sequences given here. So the right sequence is option C, which is D, B, A, C and E. So the next question, given below are 2 statements. One is labeled as assertion and another is labeled as reason. Assertion, the low income countries are far more likely to borrow money to finance their public sector expenditure. Reason, government need not repay their loans along with interest payment. In the light of the above statement, choose the correct answer from the options given below. So we have different options, both A and R are true and R is correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A, and A is true but R is false, A is false and R is true. So the right option for this question is option C, which is A true but R is not true, which is false. Okay, next one, the statement 1. A rising ratio of interest payment to GNP imposes a burden because taxation is needed to finance the interest payment and imposes a deadweight loss. Statement 2. A rising rate of interest payment in the budget tend to crowd out other public programs. In the light of the above statement, choose the correct answer from the options given below. So the options, both statement 1 and 2 are true, statement 1 and 2 are false, statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false, statement 1 is false but statement 2 is true. So the right answer for this question is option A, which is both statement 1 and statement 2 is true. So next we will be looking at the question from environmental economics and demography. The first question, the greater the divergence between the shadow price and market price, the greater the need for social cost benefit analysis in public investment decisions, the lesser the need for social cost benefit analysis in public investment decisions, then there will be no social benefit in public investment, then the social cost will be minimum. So the right answer for this question is option A, which is a greater the need for social cost benefit analysis in investment decisions. Next question, Which of the following is not true about the basic postulates of Malthusian perspective of population? The human population will invariably grow where the means of subsistence increases. The total amount of land available for agriculture is immutably fixed. Factor substitutions and technical advances can alleviate resource scarcities. The growth of population is limited by the amount of good available for the substance. So the right answer for this question is option C. The factor substitutions and technological advances can alleviate resource scarcities. Next question. Which of the following criteria is used to judge the performance of instrument for environmental policy? Ensuring that for each firm the marginal abatement cost is equal to the marginal damage from pollution, achieving equality of marginal abatement cost across polluters, minimizing the total cost of externality to the society, all of the above. The right option for this question is option D, which is all of the above. So the next question, which of the following is true in case of externality? It is not related to human interactions. It is not tied to consumer sovereignty. It is based on the higher order judgment of the right and wrong. It is an amoral concept. So the right answer is question option D, which is it is an amoral concept. Next one, which of the following tend to conform to the population projections of India based on the census of India 2011 as carried out by the technical group on the population projections under the aegis of National Commission and Commission on Population. So we have different statement. The infant mortality rate is expected to decline in all states during 2011 and 2035. And the next one, the average age of India is expected to be higher in 2036 compared to 2011. The crude birth rate is expected to increase due to increased level of total fertility. The crude death rate is expected to decrease owing to the changing age structure of the population. As per the projected sex ratio, the population is in 2036 is expected to be more feminine compared to the population in the 2011. So we have different combinations here. For the right combination for this question is option B, which is A, B and E only. So the next question, consider a competitive polluting industry with identical firms and free entry. If the regulator set an emission cap for each firm equal to the socially optimal long-term level per firm, which of the following will characterize as the long-term impact on such an environmental policy on this competitive industry? Options, different statements are given. An industry size will be larger than the social optimum. The output produced by each firm will be less than socially optimal. The industry size will be smaller than the social optimum. The output produced by each firm will be larger than socially optimal. Total output and total pollutions are greater than the social optimal. So we have to choose the different combinations. So the right combination for this question is option D, which is A, B and E only. So the next one, we have list 1 and list 2. In list 1, we have conference of parties of UNFCCC, and in list 2, we have locations of this conference of parties. So list 1, we have COP 15 and COP 21, COP 30 and COP 27. In list 2, Bali, Indonesia, and list Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt, and Copenhagen, Denmark, Paris, France. So the right combination for this question is option B, which is A3, B4, C1 and D2. So the next we will be moving to the money and banking module. So we will be looking at the question from this particular module. So the first question, the main feature of treasury bills are that they are issued at a discount and are repaid at a par on maturity. They have low liquidity on account of their short tenure. There is no default risk. They offer an assured yield. They have a high transaction cost. So we need to choose which are the right statement regarding the treasury bill. So the right answer for this question is option B, which is A, C, D only. A, C and D only. So next again we have a match the following. List 1 we have different incidents in the BSc, which is the establishment of a clearing house for settlement of transaction in BSc, serial bomb blast in BSc, screen based trading comments in BSc. BSc launched the first stock index with 30 scripts. In list 2 we have 1994, 1997, 1921, 1986. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is A3, B1, C2 and D4. So again, arrange the rate in the descending order based on the Reserve Bank of India data December 2022. So we have different monetary policy instrument, cash reserve ratio, repo, bank rate, reserve repo, standing deposit facility. So we need to arrange in a descending order. So the right order for this question is option C, which is C, B, E, A and D. C, B, E, A and D. So the next question, which of the following are expansionary monetary policy measures to cure deflation? So we have to identify which are the instruments, which are the measures taken by the RBI for cure deflation. So different statements are given. The central bank buys government securities from commercial banks and public. The central bank may hike the bank rate. The central bank may increase the cash reserve ratio. The central bank may reduce the cash reserve ratio. The central bank may lower the bank rate. So the right option is option D, which is A, D and E. A, D and E only. So next one, arrange the following chronologically in order of their introduction. So we have different kind of treasury bills. So we need to arrange these treasury bills in a chronological order. Ad hoc treasury bill, 28 days T-bill, 14 days T-bill and 364 days T-bill and 182 day T-bill. So we have the right option, which is option B, A, E, D, C and B. So option B is the right answer. So next we will be looking at some questions which are asked from the theories, proponents and their works, and also some of the famous quotes given by the different economists. So usually there is an usual pattern in every exam. There might chance of asking these kind of questions. So be clear with the different theories and their proponents and the famous quotes given by these economists. So the first question, who wrote that every man thus lives by exchanging or becomes in some measure of a merchant, and the society itself grows to be what is properly a commercial society? So we have Milton Friedman, Keynes, Benjamin Franklin and Adam Smith. So the right option for this question is option D, which is Adam Smith. So the next one we have match the following, list 1 and list 2. In list 1 we have a SCP approach, transaction cost theory, public choice theory, industrial connection. So in list 2 we have James Buchanan, neoclassical theory, HS index and Williamson. So the right answer for this question is option A, which is A2, B4, C1 and D3. So the next one, arrange the books in ascending order based on their year of publication. An inquiry into the nature and causes of wealth of nation, the theory of moral sentiments, capitalism, socialism and democracy, the great transformation, the political and economic origin of our time, the affluent society. So we have different options here with different sequences here. So the right sequence is option B, which is B, A, C, D, E. B, A, C, D and E. So the next question, which of the following two economists are associated with the problem of time inconsistency? J.M. Keynes and John Robinson, Hilton and Prescott, Baumol and Tobin, Friedman and Schwartz. So the right option is option B. So the next question, underdeveloped countries are the slums of the world economy, is the statement given by Keynes, G. Myrdal, Adam Smith, Kane Cross. The right option is option D. So the next one, we have match the following. Not the match the following, we have to identify which are not correctly paired. So we have Authors and Books. Simon Kuznets, Asian Drama. J. Robinson, Essay on the Theory of Economic Growth. Karl Marx, Das Kapital. Arthur W. Lewis, Theory of Economic Growth. So the right answer for this question is option A, which is not correctly paired. Simon Kuznets, Asian Drama. So now we are moving to the reading comprehension. So you can pause the video and just carefully read the passage, and I will be just going through the questions and their right answers. Try to answer the following questions. So the first question, correctly state the hypothesis of Piaget and Rossi with regards to the crash of the knowledge economy. Options, the root cause of the crash of knowledge economy is globalization, especially privatization. The root cause of the crash of the knowledge economy is the poverty and inequality in the less developed countries. The root cause of the crash of the knowledge economy is the intellectual monopolies, that is huge protection inherent to the intellectual property right. Option D, the root cause of the crash of the knowledge economy is the promotion of digitalization of the world. So the right answer for this question is option C. So the next one, according to the authors, who is responsible for crash of the knowledge economy? The person or organization who filed the patent for the protection of IPRs, the institution which are facilitating IPRs, the person or organization who are opposing to the IPRs, the sluggishness of the technological progress in the world. So the right answer for this question is option B. Next one, why have the authors considered IPRs as a super tariff? There is a large scale reduction in tariff but substantial increase in the some sectors in some countries, hence it is considered as the super tariff. After the Eureka round, the tariff rate has declined multiple times and that boosts the economic growth, hence it is considered as super tariff. The reduction in the tariff has benefited the developed countries, hence it is called super tariff. The IPRs have raised the cost of investment for countries that had neither abundant cheap labor nor high amount of IPR resources, hence it is act as the super tariff. So the right answer for this question is option D. Next one, how are the IPRs responsible for saving wealth? IPR has lead to economic growth, which has lead to saving wealth, and the aggregate demand has fallen substantially and that has lead to the saving wealth, and IPR have given rise to conflicting right for different firms, which has affected the volume of investment negatively and resulted in the situation of saving wealth. And IPRs have lead to poverty and that has lead to the saving wealth. So the right answer for this question is option C. So the last question from the first paragraph, what remedies do the authors suggest for the knowledge economy to recover from the crisis? The authors have suggested standard Keynesian policies to recover from the crisis of the knowledge economy. The authors have suggested monetary policy to recover from the crisis of the knowledge economy. The authors have suggested financial regulation to recover the crisis of the knowledge economy. The recovery of the knowledge economy from the crisis can be achieved through the regulations which can decrease the level of intellectual monopolization in the economy. So the right answer for this question is option D. Now we will be moving to the second paragraph. So you can carefully read the paragraph from the screen and I will be just going to the questions and their right answers. So the first question, which of the following is not related as a climate risk related risk for the financial sector? Occurrence of local or regional weather events, risk to the value of collateral taken as security against loans, insolvency of bank, shifting sentiments and behavior of the customers and investors. So the right answer for this question is option C, which is insolvency of banks. Next question, which of the following cannot be instrumental towards integrating climate risk into the financial system? Climate related financial disclosure, stress testing, scenario analysis, backward looking risk assessment methods. Right option is option D, backward looking risk assessment methods. Next question, which of the following does not pertain to the category of transition risk drivers with respect to the climate related risk? Options, climate related mitigation policies, loss of ecosystem services, technological innovations, shift in public sentiment. So right option is option B, which is loss of ecosystem services. So the next question, which of the following is not consistent with the mission of the RBI? Ensuring access to financial services, maintaining price and stability, setting national development priorities, stability of the financial system. So the right answer is option C. So the last one, which of the following is the purpose of setting up of sustainable financial group by the RBI? To act as a knowledge center for macroeconomic policy oriented research, to lead regulatory initiative on climate risk, facilitating core central banking function, to perform supervisory function. So the right option is option B. So in this video, we were looking at the questions and right answers given in the final answer key. So I hope this video will be helpful for your preparation. Thank you and happy learning.